Hey everybody, Elizabeth Varian here. How are you doing? I'm going to move this over. There we go. And get on. I am so thankful that I write this script out first. Because what I thought I was going to be talking on, once again, is not what I ended up writing when I got, fingers to the keyboard. And then I realized when this was given, this is so timely because it's a topic that I get asked about, like, what do you mean by this? Why do you keep using this word? You should use this word instead of this word and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I should have probably covered this earlier on, but I think it's always timely when these topics come out. So what is today's topic? It's Energy Vibration 101. Remember, College 101 courses were the basic courses. So this is a topic that is massive. It's pretty large, and we are going to be covering it in multiple parts. I've already started on next week's because I started to write it for this week, and then I realized, hair has its own mind. And then I realized, this is going to go on for too long. So I would rather have a shorter video in multiple parts and not overwhelm, and that way we can break it down into little, edible nuggets. And so Energy Vibration 101 is the basics of what do I mean when I use this word? Is it accurate? What is energy vibration, and should I be afraid of it? It's a must to learn about energy vibration if you're going to be manifesting in your life. You hear me talk all the time about joy energy. One moment. The name of the company and my website and everything I do is Live Joy Today. Live Joy Today Manifestation Group, Joyful Living Store. Everything is about joy. And I state it's a high energy vibration. And didn't realize most people don't already know what do I mean by energy vibration. So let's go back to the basics. So what is energy vibration? Science Class 101. So in our earlier years of education, depending on what country you're in, I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, because, my 46-year-old mind doesn't remember what age I learned everything. But I'm thinking we learned about atoms in like elementary school science class, right? So we're going to kind of go back to that basics that we learned. See, you say you're never going to use all this stuff you learned in school, and now you're going to use it. Here's one example of using it. So in science, we all learned that all things are made of atoms, A-T-O-M-S. Not my younger brother Adam, but atoms. And all atoms are made of the three basic particles, and that's protons, neutrons, and electrons. And I'm going to be very transparent here. I had to look it up because I kept calling it neurons, and they're two different things. So protons, neutrons, and electrons all make up an atom. We know that this microphone, this pillow, this book, our phones, tables, everything that's matter is made up of atoms, but they're not the same atoms. They're the same as in they're made up of these three basic particles, but the combination of those particles is what makes them different, which is what makes the table look like a table, my hand look like a hand, the pillow looks like a pillow, the mic looks like a mic. So that's matter. And we remember that, and that's usually the first thing we think of. But energy is not matter. So we get to go to one of my favorite dudes with my favorite haircut, Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, and I promise you, I said I was not going to get too technical. I promise I will not. If you want to get more technical, you can research this online. So Albert Einstein, everybody, whether you knew science, math, whatever, you all heard E equals MC squared. It's a famous equation. So I said, okay, what do I know about energy from a science way? Well, the first thing I did was I went to atoms, and then I went to the E equals MC squared because I remembered E was for energy. And so I basically copied and pasted this quote directly from the NOVA website that is typically on PBS in your local public broadcasting channel. But they have a website out there, and I copied this on what was the E equals mc squared. And this is what it says. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. I did not remember C equaled the speed of light. So my memory tested in that regards was a fail. We're okay with that. On the most basic level, the website goes on to say, on the most basic level, the equation says that energy and mass, or matter, are interchangeable. They are different forms of the same thing. Under the right conditions, energy can become mass and vice versa. And there's a lot of examples of, thinking how did something, go from a mass or a matter to something that was of energy. And I can't think of them off the top of my head. I keep thinking water to, from ice to water to steam. And steam can be used to move something of matter if it's finite, but I don't know if that necessarily falls under that because I am not scientific by any sense of the word, but I was raised with some scientific minds, so that's why I remembered these things. So, in the article titled "Nothing is Solid, Everything is Energy," scientists explain the world of quantum physics, which is a topic that has been an interest of mine. English apparently has left me. Proper English. The world of quantum physics states, and again, this is quoted, quantum physics discovered that physical atoms, are made up of vortices of energy that are constantly spinning and vibrating around each one radiating its own unique energy signature. Therefore, if we want to observe ourselves and find out what we are really beings of energy and vibration, radiating our own unique energy signature. I love that saying. And this is fact and what quantum physics has shown us time and time again. So energy and energy vibration is not voodoo. It's not a hoax. It's not anti-religious. It is not from the devil. It's not New Age. It's very scientifically founded. And I almost went off the charts here, and I had to rein myself back in because once I get started, I haven't dove into quantum physics beyond the surface yet, but it's one that just gets my mind, like I love to feed on it. So I reined myself back to not get too scientific today. So that is the understanding of vibration. And so if you are of a religion where you hear the word energy and you go, oh, is that a God thing or a Jesus thing or whatever the belief is, it's a scientific thing. The Bible is proof science, and science keeps proving the Bible. That's all I have to say on that. So energy vibrations have nothing to be afraid of. So manifesting and the energy vibration. We've talked generally so far about emotions, and I've mentioned energy vibration several times. But now we're going to dive into this topic a lot more in regards to how it works with manifesting. And again, I'm still going to add some science here, but I'm going to balance it and not be too scientific. Again, I reined myself back in because this is a topic I love. I love vibration energy measurements. I love seeing the videos where you can see the changing in things. It's just an intriguing topic. So even though I kind of remember now failing out of science, as you get older, your interests change. That's all I'm saying. So science measures energy and energy vibration in hertz levels. So you'll see H, Z, behind Hertz. And I'm not going to go into the various Hertz. I have said before that joy energy is above love energy, and it's based on Hertz levels. And then you have, I think gratitude is lumped in, because they don't actually give gratitude an energy level, but it's lumped in with the next one up, which I cannot think of right now. I think it's empowerment. So that's how we look at energy vibration. And when we say that anger, hatred, depression, all have low energy, it's an actual measurement of what humans give off. The earth gives off energy vibrations, and so do humans. There are meters that are used to discover the Hertz levels. And that's where I also stopped myself, because I actually had some numbers of how they tested earth, Hertz measurements, because the earth is vibrating. The earth and the moon connected. The moon controls the tides. That's energy coming, and they can measure these things. And again, it's intriguing, but we're going to reel me back into my script. So now we are trying to create desires to manifest in our lives. We don't necessarily want to be carrying a Hertz portable meter around, right? We don't want to go, okay, tape us up, figure it out, what is our level of frequency right now? Of course not. That would be ridiculous and anti-stylish. So how do we measure our own energy vibration? It's actually quite easy. We can measure it by our feelings and our emotions. They're the best way of measuring where we're at on the scale of energy vibration. And not just the overt ones of excitement. Oh, I can feel expansive. That's high energy. Oh, I feel angry. So you pull your arms in, your body language, that's contracted. Contracted is low, expansive is high. Your thoughts and your feelings are tied in with your emotions, or your emotions actually control the thoughts. They're all energy. And when you are focused on intentionally creating experiences in your life, your energy vibration plays a major component in the actual creation and attraction of the experience. So again, I'm really making this short, but I knew if I started going into these, we would be at 2 hours. So, there are several points of energy vibration that you should really learn. And I will touch on them at this point, because I'm going to go even deeper next week. So you attract, like a magnet attracts or detracts. So if this is north and this is south, this is north and this is south. North and north will usually, if memory serves me, push away. But north and south will attract. Let's see. Here, let's take 2 pens. Okay. So the point is north. The retractor button is south. So if they were magnets, I'm actually going to bring magnets in sometime, will push away, and you'll feel between them the pushing away, which, by the way, is a feeling of energy. And actually, now that I think about it and I give this example, here, let's do this correctly. So when I think about it, that feeling between 2 magnets that are pushing away, that is almost quite literally what I feel when I'm around someone whose energy I feel. I actually feel it. Not everybody does, but people who are empaths typically can feel energy. Other people sense it. So this is south to north, they'll attract, right? So you want to make sure your magnet is pointed so that you're attracting, not pushing away, right? And the way you test that is by checking in with yourself. So that would lead me to the second point, which is detaching from being aware of your emotional state will become a continual form of chaos and confusion when you are trying to manifest desires into reality. And it sounds odd to say, well, I know my emotional state, Elizabeth. Well, you're not always in touch with it. You know, many times you're so in your head thinking that you don't feel in your gut, in your energy field around your body. You're not in touch with, reading this book is making me feel sad or happy, you know, unless you're outwardly laughing or giggling to yourself. Unless you're paying attention, most people are on autopilot through this world, and they know when they're happy, they know when they're sad, they may not know all the in-betweens. And they may not be paying attention as to whether they're happy or sad if they go through their day and they focus and they're happy all day long, but then one thing happens, one little blip happens that sucks, you know, in their opinion, and they get home and what do? How was your day? Oh, it sucked. But yet they were happy most of the day. So getting in touch, and if I was going to say, if there was any take C action work, is start getting in tune with yourself. I think I've said it is either the last time or a couple times back, I am in the university of me. Me University, Elizabeth University, since I was young, I pay attention. I want to pay attention to my body. I know every little ache and pain and bruise and blah, blah, blah. Not so that I can speak about them, so that I can focus on them being gone and being in natural state. I've been having hip focus lately, and I know that's muscular. So I say, okay, my hips are perfectly healthy. They're fine. They feel wonderful. Ooh, love the stretch. Ooh, get that stretch, you know, and have that inspired action. Hopefully that makes sense. When words, events, or anything that creates an emotional reaction is an energy vibration of knowing whether you like or dislike or have a block of something. And I've actually talked about this a lot in a group that I'm part of. Anytime I hear someone say, and then this happened, and it has to do with either your body or your thinking, it's typically going to be saying this is contrary to what you want, this is positive to what you want, or this is a block that you need to shift. And only you will know it. And as soon as I tell people that, they immediately go, I know exactly what it is. Because we know to connect and relate to it, you know, what it is. So by doing number 2, where we stop being detached and we become more aware of our emotional state of being, then we can do number 3, we pay attention to, you know, someone said the word rich, R-I-C-H, in a group that I was commenting on, you know, that every time they believe they want to be rich, they're intending to be rich, they love to be rich, they're emotionally attached to being rich, but then every time they use the word, it gave them a queasy stomach, or it was a gut in their stomach that was having issues. And that is, okay, well, look at the word rich. What is it, every word you associate that comes up, a brainstorm session, or find out what your money blocks or money limits are. And then my advice to them was go out and start blessing wealthy people, because if that's your block is against wealthy people, you need to go and bless them, because that blessing then returns. That's another story for another day. But, you know, detaching or stop detaching, becoming more aware. Knowing that you attract the energy that you put out is the energy that is coming in. When the energy, you know, feelings come up, your internal meter goes low energy, then it's either something that you dislike or you have a block on. Sometimes it's also a warning, don't go down this road or path. But I think I use energy to pick out books. I was in a bookstore once and I was walking, and all I did was I'm just going down. I'm in a Christian bookstore, you know, hanging out with my Jesus, and I stopped and I couldn't move forward because I felt a wall of energy. Again, like that feeling of the magnets that are being pushed away. That's what I feel. My body stops. And so I'm like, okay, I turn to the bookshelf and I take my hand along it until it stops. So I will use energy to go, okay, what book am I supposed to be reading right now? Thanks to my friend Tasha, who recommended The Alchemist. In The Alchemist and in the Old Testament, they use I think it's called Urim and I can never say this word, Thummim. It's what Moses used to decide whether the Israelites went into battle or not. And if it came up white, they were to move forward and yes, go into battle. If it came up black, no, don't move forward, stay still, or go nowhere. The answer is no. So for me, I use energy in that kind of way. Matching the energy to your desire creates the momentum for bringing it near and into your life. So, wow, I really did do great on time. Yay, me. There's my joy energy. So next week, we're going to take these 4 points and probably add a few more onto them and go in even deeper. The most part, the thing I really want you to understand is energy is not something to be feared. Energy is not voodoo hoax. It's not a curse. It's not against any religion. It's scientifically measured. It's not some new age thing. It's not some hokey pokey thing. Energy is real. We turn our lights on, which has energy, that FP&L or your energy company, charges you for. So if it's got to be real if they're charging you for it, right? So just know it is not fake. It is not sorcery. It is not anti-God or Christ or anything. It is measurable. But you don't need to have a meter to measure your energy. Humans and the earth put out energy. And if you're sensitive to energy like I am, you really can feel it. And I have friends that are like, what do you mean you can feel it? Because that sounds hokey to them because they cannot. That's perfectly fine if you don't understand what I mean by feeling it. Just take the 2 magnets and you'll know what I feel throughout the day. So energy, if we match our vibration to what we want as though we have, which is where as if comes in. Conversation I was having with my mother over the weekend because she always misinterpreted as if means, oh, I want to be wealthy, let me go out and buy all the designer bags. And I was like, no, as if means you have the energy, the contentment is an energy, the emotions as though you already have it. Wealthy people don't always go out and buy trendy things. They don't always go out and spend. They absolutely do not spend above their means if they're smart and wealthy and they want to keep that wealth, right? There are many people that you would be unaware of that were once billionaires that became millionaires because they were not smart with their money. If you want to be smart with your money, go read The Richest Man in Babylon. If you want to be smart in manifesting, start learning to pay attention to your emotions, your thoughts, feelings. When your body feels tense and contracted, you're in low energy. When you feel wide and expansive and light and airy, you're in high energy. So you don't need a meter to judge where your energy level is. You just need to pay attention. So next week, we're going to take these 4 points and break them down even meatier. I love this topic if you cannot tell. Alrighty, you have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to make this, publish this tonight and be off and on my energy, joyful manifesting ways. Alrighty, don't forget to check out the Joyful Living store. We still have these products, and I opened up a Redbubble store, which I am having so much fun with because now we can take the designs and get them on other products. So I'm going to make sure to link to it. Haven't done so yet, but if you go onto Redbubble, look up Live Joy Today and you'll find it. I'm going to get some items from there because I'm loving how the designs are really coming out. So we're expanding our product offerings, so it's not just whatever we have in inventory. Alrighty, have a blessed, wonderful evening. Bye.